Hello and welcome to the Bee and the Rose Knitting Podcast. I am your host, Kat. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're a new viewer, thanks so much for trying this podcast out. And I hope you enjoy yourself and stick around. Let's see, it's a little bit late in the week because life. Tuesday was Halloween, and I was knitting the heck out of this beautiful shawl right here. I was just trying to, I had Tuesday off. I was supposed to have Monday off, but I got called in because that's retail life right there. So I didn't have quite as much knitting time as I thought I did, or I thought I would anyhow. But I did end up finishing my pumpkin coach shawl in time for Tuesday, and then I blocked it on Wednesday. So I really enjoy it. I started this project on the solstice, and I finished it on the 31st. And in good nature fashion, the minute I decided to block it, it's like the clouds came in. And it's like, oh, you need the heat? Nope. Here we are. It's fall. It's going to be cold. So it has been on my blocking board since Wednesday afternoon, and today is Friday. And this morning I took a blow dryer to it. It's still a little damp. But it's finished. I'm going to take it off and show you guys. I'm super proud of this piece. Look at that lace panel. Oh my gosh. This yarn doesn't show off the edge lace super well, but it's so pretty. And it has a nice halo. I do have like a couple tiny little ends I have to weave in over here, but whatevs. I don't care. I'm really bad at weaving in ends. It's like, and this is like my second lace shawl, and the first one I've blocked. The other one I did in Karen cake. So it's acrylic. Well, it's only like 10% acrylic. It's the wool the rest of the way. So I probably could block it, except that I made it huge. It was the first project I ever did. So I did not understand how big it was going to turn out to be. And about 4 Karen cakes into it, I was like, oh, this is pretty big. Just because like I repeated each chart like 2 or 3 times. And it's a pattern that's written for lace, and Karen cakes are worsted weight. But it's really nice. I just have to block it, I think. And but the minute I blocked it, like I filled my sink with water and a little bit of Euclid. I let this sit in it for 15 minutes. I pulled it out. I got as much water out of it as I could, and I laid it out, and it was flat. And before, it had been, bumpy and wavy, and it was just like, wow, like just getting it wet caused the yarn to smooth out. It was astonishing. I really don't like blocking, but I guess that's my life now because I really like doing lace. The lace is just where it's at for me. So this is made out of yarn I spun myself. I got my bats from Denise over at Yarn Shine. One of them was an oak, and the other one was the plum pumpkin, which is where you get most of the pretty gold from. Is from the pump. Like this section is like that row is my favorite row right there. I love it, and it smells like yak still, even though I've washed it. It still smells, and it's like been on me. I can still smell the sheep and the yak, and I love that. So it's been a really good, productive week as far as my shawl goes. But I haven't gotten too much else done. I do have this, works in progress. I am so close. This is the sock that I showed like 2 weeks ago. It is, just a plain vanilla sock. I'm trying out, um, a pattern, like I'm designing. It's pretty much just a recipe. It's not a pattern, it's just a recipe, that will go do well for my foot. Because the first sock I made was also a prototype recipe for myself, and it came out really loose, in everything but the heel. And the heel I use is the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which are absolutely amazing. I've only done a gusset and a gusset short row heel, no, a gusset heel, sorry guys, once, and that's for the tiny little baby socks that I made for my friend's kid. Um, and I just really love the Fish Lips Kiss heel. If you are intimidated at all of the information that comes with the pattern, don't be. You don't necessarily have to, follow the sizing. You can just kind of like, okay, this is how many stitches I need for my foot. You can just go from there and do the pattern. It will be okay, and it is super duper easy. She has, there's a stitch that I haven't seen in any other pattern, but she has videos, about how to do that stitch, on YouTube. So it's really easy, so simple. I'm like, according to my row counter, I have about 13 stitches left to go before I start my toe. Because the body, I know because the body of the first socks I did, the foot was okay. It was just, the stitch count was a little loose. Now, oh, here we go. Let's see if I can't. I'm doing these on 9-inch circulars, and I absolutely love the 9-inch circulars. The only thing I don't like about my 9-inch circulars is I can't try, the sock on without transferring it to either DPNs or waste yarn or cable. But it is going so fast, and I think if I can finish the second sock by December 1st, I'm going to enter these into the festive sock along, because somebody, that Stranded Dye Works is doing this at the Stranded podcast, because somebody pointed out to me when I was at the yarn shop yesterday that they do look like Christmas lights. So they're rainbow for the rest of the year, and then like Christmas lights during, winter. So, what I did. These are really, nice long socks. They go about midway up my calf, and I did a 3x1 ribbing, for 11 rows, and then, I did the body the leg, sorry, for 42 rows, and every 14th row I on one side I did a, SSK, and on the other side I did a knit two together, so that it shapes my calf, because, if I do the same stitch count, and I cast it on about 76 stitches for that, because if I do the same cast on, if I keep that stitch count all the way down, it'll just fall, because, my calf is bigger than my leg, and then it will just be really baggy around my foot. But now I'm down to 78 stitches, and that does pretty well for my foot, I think. But once I am done with that sock, I'm actually going to switch gears and knit my little sister Bridget's sock. I'm doing the Evergreen pattern for her right now. There is a 50% coupon for that code. It's festive sock 17 for Amy's festive sock along. And I just had it up. I can't remember the name of, hold on. 1 second. Sorry. It's the pattern is Evergreen Socks by Madeline Gannon. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But that is that. And sorry, I'm really hopping around today. I'm short on time. I have to leave to go get my sister pretty soon, and I did not plan this. This is one of those kind of, if I don't just jump in and do it, it's not going to get done weeks, because I was having a little bit of difficulty hitting that record button. So this is a discombobulated podcast today. I'm going to have to remember to try and get slightly more organized next week. But so this is what's left over from the shawl. The shawl is 2.5 ounces. I don't know how much yardage is in it, because I don't know how much yardage I spun up. I have almost no way of calculating that. The Nitty Naughty I bought earlier this year in order to figure that out broke first time. That was fun. I guess it was more of a novelty item. Fun. And then the top of I was winding this because it was in a cake. The top piece of my Skywinder popped off, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what it looks like, but I have to mold a new piece for my Skywinder. So that's going to be fun to try and get the motivation to actually find what I need to do that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's kind of amazing, like, how suddenly fall decided that it was time. Because, like, Halloween was not cold, but November 1st was cold. And it's been cloudy and overcast all week since then. And it's like the week before that, like last Monday, it was 110 degrees. So it's just kind of sudden. And, Southern California is like that. It'll be cold for a couple of days, and then we'll have a heat wave. And it'll be cold for a couple more, and then there will be fire a mile from your house. Which I'm due for, because the last fire where I am right now was probably in 2015. And it did get, we're like, should we evacuate for this one? Let's wait on it. And then there's a cat hospital a mile down, and across from that is just vegetation, and that's all crispy, and you can't walk on it because they're like, it's just in recovery. So they're like, leave this space alone. It's recovering, which is really cool that I live in a place that does that. So yeah, I don't have any acquisitions this week. I don't plan on having any acquisitions for many weeks to come, because I blew my budget in September and October, and I have I have like 6 drawers full of fiber, and a bin that also has fiber in it, just waiting to be used up from my excursions. And I was going to participate in Amy's update today. She had a giant update for her birthday and for Stranded Dyeworks' birthday. Stranded Dyeworks will turn 2 in a few days. And Amy turned 27 today. Happy birthday, Amy. So she had a giant update today, and I was really excited about it. I'd saved up for it, and then I got on, and the color I wanted wasn't on the base I wanted. And there was like nothing else that really called to me. Like, it's all incredibly beautiful, but it's not exactly what I want, and it can be very pricey. So I decided I'm just gonna hold out until we get koi on MCN, because I really want a pair of koi socks in her Paradise base. It's such a beautiful colorway, and it was only on Oasis, so I'm like, no, thank you. It's a little disappointing. However, because I don't have much in the way of funds, I have to work about 2.5 hours for every skein of yarn I buy when it's indie dyer yarn. I'm fairly picky about what I buy, and I want to have a project in mind for it. I want, yeah, I like, if I don't have a project in mind, then I'm not going to buy the yarn if I can avoid it. So it's just something to stay in budget, and I can just save the money that I was going to spend on that, and I'm going to put that towards my fund for next year's yarn crawl, or next year's fiber festival. I do want to go to Rhinebeck in 2020. I've seen everyone's Rhinebeck videos, and I live in California. I've never been to New York before. I haven't been further east than Chicago. So I think it would be really fun to be able to go to one of the East Coast festivals, and I'm gonna try and start planning that out. I know it seems like, oh, that's like at least 2 years away. I am so poor. So everything I do has to be really planned out and budgeted for. So I'm going to start planning on that trip this year. I also kind of want to go to SSK. I want to go to it in 2018, but I haven't seen or heard any information about it yet. And, it would be fun to go to Tennessee if I had the money for it. If I have to wait till like 2019, that's okay. But I'm just like looking and waiting for that to start coming up again. So yeah, that's my future knitting. I'm going to start working on these socks. I kind of want to see if I can knit 2 socks at the same time on my 9-inch circulars, because I think that would be awesome. Knitting on the 9-inch circulars is going around. There's a lot of high reward for it, like instant gratification. Like, I can knit on, because especially I'm doing stockinette right now. I've literally, yesterday I was sitting in my yarn shop falling asleep because I got 2 hours of sleep. So I'm sitting there falling asleep, but I'm still knitting along on my 9-inch circulars. And it's just really easy. The only thing I don't like about them is how easy the stitches pop off when you let it sit. So usually when I let it sit, I go like, on the camera, I go like that, and then like that, and it holds the stitches. But I'm so happy. And I can't keep my 9-inch circulars in my DPN case, I found out. Other purchases I'm kind of thinking about, Knit for Brain Designs, which is the mother-daughter team over at the Knit for Brain podcast. She opened an Etsy shop, and her bags are $37, and they come with DPN cases that match. They come with DPN cases. I bought a DPN case that is really good quality. It's amazing. It's flannel. It's thick. It's plush. It's lovely. I love it. From Slip Stitches Studios in October. The DPN case was $20. All of the DPN cases were $20. So to buy a bag and a DPN case for $37, that's astounding. Oh my God, that's a deal, man. Oh, I'm so that's something I'm definitely keeping my eye on, because I only have like one project bag, and I love my project bag. I love the fabric on my project bag. It's drawstring, but I'd like something that like can go over my wrist, and maybe clip shut instead. So these are the things I'm thinking about right now. I have not gotten through any further through John Green's new book. I'm still like I think I've gotten 2 pages further into chapter 3. I think I figured out that if I knit on my DPNs though, I can like read at the same time, maybe. I just like, it's really hard because it's a new book, so it doesn't want to lay flat, and I don't want to break the spine, and so I have to like hold the pages down and knit at the same time. Maybe I should just get the audiobook, but I have the physical book. Knitter's problems. Oh, and what was the thought? I'm sorry, that was a long silence. Walmart. So last year, during Halloween, I got this awesome ugly sweater. It's just a pullover, and it has print on it, like a silk screen print, and it was printed on it were knitted stitches that made up like a bunch of ghosts and candies, candy corn, and it was a really cute ugly sweater. And this Christmas they have a lot of really cute ugly sweaters, one of which has an alpaca on it. And last winter I bought a hat from them that's color work that says Feliz Navidad, which is a play on Feliz Navidad. I'm sorry if I did not properly pronounce that. I have a hard time pronouncing words no matter what language they're spoken. But it's really cute, and I really want to get it so that I can wear it with my Feliz Navidad hat. I'll have to see how much I get on Tuesday so I can do that. I think that's all I have for you guys this week. It's a very, very short episode, but I wanted to give you something. I don't really like waiting 2 weeks in between podcasts because I'm less likely to do it the longer I wait. I get anxious, and I'm like, well, is what I have to show, is it good enough? And like, it is good enough, even if all I have is whips, it's okay. Like, this is what I have, this is how I'm presenting. And even though I'm kind of low quality right now, I don't have any editing software, and I don't have like an intro, I don't have an outro. These are things I would like. I need to start saving up for a new computer so I can have these things. This is who I am and what I'm putting forward, and I'm good enough. I'm good enough for it. So I really appreciate it if you came and you sat with me for a minute. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, or even if you don't, please like the video. Please subscribe. If you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe, but please like the video though. Just gives me a little bit of encouragement that, sometimes we need that to keep going. and to improve. And I hope you guys have a very good week. Thanks. Stop recording.